What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Hot Take Tuesday, episode 4, season 2. We have quite a few hot takes here today, some good ones as well. So you see the first one's already up on the screen, but I welcome you to the JDW Sports Talk Show. Thank you for stopping by. If you enjoy Colts, NFL content, weekly stuff, ways for you to get involved with the channel, with the community, this is the place for you. Make sure you like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on so you do not miss any future videos. And if you would like to partake in Hot Take Tuesday in the future, join the Discord. I ask for the hot take every single Tuesday. So if you want to be involved, join the Discord. It's a great way to stay involved with the channel. So with the first hot take we have here, it's from the Colts corner. The Colts draft CJ Stroud and make playoffs year 1. So I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. You guys already see the Colts stuff. I'm a big Colts guy. The Colts aren't going to be ready, whoever they draft next year. They're not going to be ready. I get, the team is not horrible. It's not horrible. But it lacks in the important departments of a football team. Cornerback is rough. I like Isaiah Rodgers, and I'm excited to see him step into the cornerback 1 role, but we have to see him prove it at cornerback 1. He played cornerback 2 reps last year, as Gilmore played 1. So, corner's a bit of a need. Even if Isaiah Rodgers does pan out to be an incredible corner, number 1, which is possible, he's shown flashes he is absolutely capable of. You still need another one for the other side. Then you still need some depth. So, corner's an issue. I think safeties are fine. You have a lot of young and upcoming potential talent there. Linebackers are fine. You could probably use another guy there. I think edge rusher and the defensive line is solid. I don't think there's too much more to really do there. Maybe you could add another solid edge rusher. I like Kwity Paye. And I like Deo. He came on last year. Then they signed a guy like Taven Bryan. You have Buckner. You have Stewart. You have some solid pieces along that defensive line, but I still think, you can never have enough edge rushers, and I still think the Colts are missing that pass rush guy. Kwity Paye came on last year, and he's shown flashes of being a pass rush guy, but we don't know if we have that guy yet. So that's still a need. You have... that's really it on the defensive side of things. But you look on the offensive side, you don't know how left tackle is going to be. We don't know how Bernard Ryman's going to be. Right guard is an issue. Quarterback is the biggest and farthest away issue. And then you have wide receivers. I think you have some good wide receivers. And Michael Pittman, Pierce. They signed Isaiah McKenzie. Re-signed Ashton Doolin. You have some good guys in that group. But Pittman had a down year last year. Pittman's gonna have a prove it year this year. You have Pierce has shown a lot of potential, a lot of flashes. Just want to see him put it together now. We don't know if he will. We don't know. I think he could, but we don't know yet. Isaiah McKenzie is a little slot guy. I think McKenzie was just fine in the slot, but I still think you need some more playmakers in the wide receiver room. Pittman needs to get himself together from last year, and Pierce needs to make that jump. If they do, this receiver room can be a pretty good receiver room. But if 1 or 2 guys go down, then it's going to be a pretty big issue, no matter who is back there at quarterback. I think tight end is fine. I like Jelani Woods. I like Kylan Granson. Molly Cox is kind of the odd one out. He shouldn't. I think that experiment should have been over 2 years ago. But it is what it is. But for the Colts, draft CJ Stroud, right? Number 1. A lot of people think CJ Stroud's going number 1 overall. I think it's Bryce Young. I know Frank Reich likes the tall guys and all that stuff, but I think Bryce Young is a better football player. And he's smaller, which definitely hurts, because is his body going to be able to hold up? But he can throw the ball. He's not just a thrower. He's a passer. And he's had a much worse situation than CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud has an incredible offensive line with 2 tackles that could go in the top 50. They have incredible wide receivers. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Marvin Harrison Jr. He had, Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave last year. What doesn't he have? And the Ohio State system is meant to help quarterbacks and aid them. Alabama system is meant to pressure and build a quarterback. I think CJ Stroud is going to have a difficult time adjusting to the NFL. Under pressure, he was pretty horrible. In college, with that offensive line, he had a hard time playmaking with all those receivers. It's just, I don't know. There's a lot of questions. And to take him at number 1, I think that's too many questions. With Bryce Young, it's honestly, size is the biggest question. That's my problem with Bryce. So, the fact that CJ Stroud may make it to 4. So, there's a report that came out yesterday, I think it was, that the Colts, that after number 1 overall, a quarterback is likely to not be picked until number 4. Right now, you can't believe everything. I don't know if I believe it. I don't necessarily believe it. It depends on how the board falls. That's just how it works. If the board falls to the Texans' favor and they want Bryce Young, then if Bryce Young's there, they take him. If they like C.J. Stroud, but then he's not there, maybe they don't. It's been reported that the Texans are interested in Will Anderson. I think it's smoke. There could be smoke. Absolutely could be. And it's smoke season. There's a lot of stuff going around that is reported. Doesn't mean it's true. A lot of smoke screens. Teams are trying to play stupid. They're trying to make other team executives think differently. Gotta remember that. And make playoffs. I think the playoffs part is pretty piping hot. I don't know. I'm gonna go hot. I'm not gonna go piping hot. I think it's not very realistic, but it's not to the point where, absolutely not. I think there's a little chance in there. I don't think it's big, but I'm still gonna stick on the hotter side of hot. It's closer to piping hot than warm. So the next hot take that we have here is from Gold4307. The Giants win the NFC East. I agree. I think I agree. I think it's going to be between the Eagles and the Giants. And there is stuff going on with Barkley right now. But if you ask me, the Eagles still have 2 first-round picks as well. The Giants have 1 first-round pick. I think the Cowboys and the Commanders are going to be the bottom 2 teams. I'll give you right now the way I think that division is going to go. It's going to be a scratch. It's going to be a claw for number 1 between the Eagles and the Giants. And it's hard to pick one. You may want to pick the quarterback that's a little more dynamic and has proven a little more in Jalen Hurts. I think Daniel Jones is a little better of a thrower of the football. Hurts still has a lot to prove in that department. But, I think Daniel Jones could get it done. I think he's going to have just enough to get it done. He has some all right receivers, and the draft is coming up. That could get even better. They traded for Darren Waller. I think that's a big factor. The offensive line is just going to get better. And Brian Daboll's just getting his feet wet. And that defense corner is an issue. They need to go after a corner or whatever. But, see, now that I'm thinking about it more, I feel like the Eagles are a little better. I think the Eagles are a little better than the Giants at this time. We'll revisit this, make another video on this after the draft, but right now, no, because we got to include the draft because we're talking about next season. So let's say, the Eagles have 2 first-round picks. They get Bijan. I don't think Bijan should go at 10. I think that's a bit high. 2 first-round picks regardless, and really, since the Dolphins forfeited a pick, they really have 30, which is even better. But This is a tough one, man, because the Giants and the Eagles, I feel like they're similar in their ways. Like, but I think the Eagles are a little better. I think the Giants are better coached. And I think, I'm going to take the Giants. I'm going to take the Giants having another full offseason. I'm going to bank on them having another good draft. Darren Waller's a huge addition. They're up and coming. Their confidence is soaring. The Eagles just lost the Super Bowl. We're going to see if that hangover takes place. And I think because of that, I'm going to go with the New York Giants win the division. So I'm actually going to go, I'm going to go warm because, I still think the Eagles are a solid team. They still have 2 first-round picks. It all depends on what they do with them, how they do, and, obviously. But I'm going to go with the Giants. I think the Giants, are an underdog a bit, but I think they have what it takes to take the crown this year. So I'm gonna go warm. It means it's no. See, I keep mixing up. I want to go. I mix up warm and cool. I'm going cool. I'm gonna go more likely than not because I like where this team is heading. When you have a team that's heading in the right direction, it's important. And the Eagles, where are they gonna go from here? They re-signed 2 older cornerbacks. Just signed Jalen Hurts to a 5-year, $55 million deal, $51 a year. That's a yikes. That's a bit of an overpay. Not severely, but Hurts doesn't deserve to be paid in the range of a Mahomes. No, I don't think so. I think Hurts should have maybe been paid $45 a year. I think 45 is fair. Any more than that, I'd say no. Especially a 5-year deal. A lot of money guaranteed. You look at the recent memory with quarterbacks that like to run. They don't last. Lamar Jackson's already having body issues. And it's also scary because you never know. He hasn't. There's no way he's come to a point where Hurts is worth $15 million a year. Not, he's shown a lot of improvement, but he needs more improvement throwing the ball. And he has an incredible team around him. How are you going to keep that team intact for a long period of time when you're paying a quarterback that much? I mean, yeah, it's absolutely possible, but they have some pretty high-level players. So, and I think that's one of the reasons why they let Chauncey Gardner walk. I thought that was, thought they should have re-signed him. From the beginning, Chauncey was getting offers from other teams, and the Eagles, and he just declined the Eagles. Want something else. So, it's just when you pay a quarterback that much, usually it's very difficult to keep a good team together, a great team together. The Chiefs are a different animal. Mahomes is a different animal. Mahomes is generational. That's it. He's a once-in-a-lifetime quarterback. Honestly, he's going to go down as one of the best, if not the best. He's probably going to go, if Mahomes keeps going at the rate he's going now, Mahomes is going to be the best quarterback of all time, the best player of all time. You could call that a hot take if you want, but point is, Giants win the East. I just kind of went on a rant about Hurts being paid a lot, but there's a great team around him. Some very good wide receivers. Very good defense. To lose a few pieces, but then you added a few. I still think $50 million is a lot, but I'm going with the New York Giants to win the division this year. Okay, in the building with the third hot take of the evening, you have Lamar Jackson to the New York Jets. I'm going hot. No, I know. I'm gonna go piping hot. Because right now the Jets have an offer in for Rodgers. I have no clue what's going on with that. Rodgers is gonna wait till the last minute. He's probably gonna wait until after all training camp, or probably, not necessarily training camp, maybe like a lot of off-season programs, so he doesn't have to participate. And then say yes. Well, it's not really Aaron's call right now. It's also the Packers want compensation, and reportedly they're not getting enough. I don't blame the Jets for not giving up the bank because he's 39, 40 years old. He didn't even know if he wanted to play this year coming up. So you don't want to give up a first for a player that didn't even know he wanted to play this year coming up. It just doesn't make sense. But Lamar Jackson, I don't think the Ravens are going to want to trade him in the AFC. Unless they really come to no choice like the Texans kind of did with Deshaun. Plus, Lamar isn't going to want fully guaranteed money. And, you really don't know what's going on behind the doors there. But with Jalen Hurts just getting paid, that's all the more reason that he's going to want, whatever he's asking for, if not more now. Because Jackson's more proven than Hurts. I think Jackson is a better player than Hurts. I take Jackson over Hurts, you ask me. I absolutely would. So, Lamar Jackson to the Jets, I don't think the Ravens are going to want to trade him within the conference. I don't think the Jets are going to be willing to give up the farm, give up all that money. I think it's Joe Douglas, right? That's the GM. I think he's smarter than that. I think he's going to bank on a young quarterback or trading for someone, but not giving up the farm. Maybe trading for someone that, hey, maybe this guy's got a second chance in the league. But I don't see the Jets trading for Lamar Jackson. I don't see it. Maybe there's a situation there where, hey, Lamar says sure, and the Jets give up the compensation that the Ravens want, and the Jets pay what he wants. There's a possibility. Anything's possible, but I think it's a very, 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 very low chance that happens. So I'm going piping hot. I don't even think he's going to be traded. It's like, you don't know. It's such a complicated situation. When you have a quarterback of this caliber on the market, it's so difficult to understand it. It really is. Really is. But all in all, I have a feeling the Ravens are going to... Yeah, I know Lamar's already wrote a letter that he's leaving and everything, but, who's going to trade for him? Who's going to give him the money that he's asking for? You know what I mean? Lamar has a lot to learn. Or, there's just a lot to go through yet with Lamar. I don't know what he's going to do. It's crazy. Is he going to play this year? You don't even know if he's going to play this year. Whatever. I'm going piping hot. Silver Sabs. Fourth hot take. Joe Burrow accepts a non-team friendly deal, possibly 5-year, $55 million per year. 85% fully guaranteed. So listen. All this stuff with all these quarterbacks being paid $50 million a year on par with Mahomes is ridiculous. Mahomes is the best quarterback in the National Football League. He is the best player in sports right now. Name me a more dominant player in sports right now than Patrick Mahomes. Tell me he's not the most entertaining athlete to watch. He is. He absolutely is. And he deserves I think he earned $50 million of it. Every single penny. If there's a player that should have gotten $50 million a year and now no one should reach that, it's Mahomes. I don't think anyone else should be paid more than Mahomes. And, it just doesn't make sense how players are getting these type of deals. Teams don't want to get rid of them and they want to keep them happy. That's a big part of it. But I don't think Burrow is that kind of player. I think Burrow is going to be willing to take less money to be able to give him a better team around him. I think Burrow would do that. Burrow seems like a player that would do that. So, really, we're predicting a contract. 5 years, $55 million. I'm going hot. No, I'm gonna go piping hot. Because I don't see Burrow being that kind of player, that kind of guy. You know, I think Burrow, if we're talking in ranks of quarterbacks, I think Burrow is the second best. Hands down. I've started to say that this past season before anyone else has said it. Please. Burrow is number 2. Burrow is incredible. He took a poverty franchise, a horrible franchise, and took them into a perennial playoff team. Well, the last 2 years. But he has brought the Bengals on the map. He is the reason why the Bengals are even talked about at all. They wouldn't have even sniffed the Super Bowl last year. They wouldn't have sniffed the playoffs. No, the Super Bowl 2 years ago, or like you know what I mean. The year before last year. But last year, this just past year, what they were at the conference championship again, weren't they? Come on, Burrow is the man. I think if anyone else in the league is worth what similar to what Mahomes is, I think it's Burrow. But I think Burrow is going to take less for the team. I see Burrow being that type of player to be like, yeah, I'll take a little bit less. So Burrow's a team guy. I hope this doesn't backfire on me. But Burrow's a team guy. He's a team guy. I'm going to go piping hot for the $55 million a year. That is incredibly high price tag. He's a fantastic quarterback, the second best in the league. But it's so much freaking money, man. Last hot take of the evening from LCCJS27. His hot take is the Cowboys get last place in the NFC East. I'm going to go hot. Let's go through this a little bit. But I might readjust the scale here of what I think of this take. So, I already established earlier on in the video that I think it's between the Eagles and the Giants for the NFC East crown. I think the Cowboys are going to take a little step back. I think they're going to be a similar team. I don't think they're going to be worse. I don't think they're going to be much better. I just don't think the Cowboys are as good as a football team as the Eagles or Giants. They did trade for Gilmore. I didn't think about that. So they have some pretty good corners, good defensive line. They do have some very talented players. But there always seems something that comes up and holds the Cowboys back. And I think they're going to take a little step back. I don't think it's going to be a big step back. I don't think it's going to be as good as last year. Maybe similar, a little less. But I don't think the Commanders are going to jump them. I think the Commanders are going to... I mean, the Commanders, I don't know, man. Like, the Commanders' defense is solid. They've signed a few people. They're probably... They may go for a cornerback in the draft. I think they have a potent offense. Sam Howell is a lot of fun. Their offensive line is getting better. It's not great. They have some pretty good weapons. Tight end could maybe use a little work, but I'm telling you, you know what? The more I'm thinking about it, this Washington team, you know what? I'm going cool. I think it's likely that the Cowboys finish last because I think the more I'm thinking about it and the more I'm going through the teams, it's also, like, dependent on the quarterback. How is Sam Howell going to do next year? He was all right last year. He was all right. But you know what? This is a tough one. This is a tough one because the Commanders are interesting. They have a pretty decent football team. They really do. And it's all dependent on their quarterback. If Sam Howell plays well, I could see them finishing third. Maybe 4 teams make it to the playoffs for the East. Maybe. That's if, you do have the Niners, the Hawks from the same division who are very good. The NFC North. No, South. The NFC South is pretty rough. I think only one team makes it from there. The NFC North, I think probably one team makes it from there. So, 1 or 2. I could see this entire division making the playoffs. But the Cowboys get last place in the NFC East. I think it's possible. I think it's very possible. I know I said cool, but I'm going to go warm. Because I think it's a little... I think the Cowboys are still a better... They're proven. Their quarterback is proven. Pretty damn good quarterback in Dak Prescott. A lot of people may not think it, but I like Dak Prescott. He may throw a lot of interceptions. He may be risky. But he also throws for a lot of yards, and he's a very, very aggressive and solid quarterback. But like I said, it's really dependent on how Sam Howell plays. But I ultimately think the Cowboys are still a little better put together than the Commanders. So I'm gonna go warm. And you know what that's gonna do? That's gonna wrap it up for episode 4, season 2, Hot Take Tuesday. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you like, subscribe, that post notification bell on so you do not miss any future videos. If you enjoy this video, make sure you check out some other ones. You may enjoy them. Hot Take Tuesday here every Tuesday evening at 9:15 p.m. Eastern. If you enjoyed this episode, you should stay tuned. You'll definitely enjoy the next one. If you'd like to be involved next time, join the Discord. It's where we do all of our interactions. The community talks about news that breaks. A lot of good stuff over there. So make sure that you guys go pop your heads in over there. If you want to be included in Hot Take Tuesday next week, go pop your head in. When I ask for the hot takes, drop your hot take. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in. The JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. I just said if you enjoyed 30,000 times, but I'll catch y'all next time. JDW signing out.